Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and this is actually the second time I'm recording this video. I recorded it, posted it, and then, yeah, part of it was on there, and not all of it. So this is basically we were trying to rank where we think the NXT women will fall under basically what their potential is. Now we got two announcers in here, so we're gonna put them in the past section because we're not gonna to necessarily rate that, and we're gonna just kind of think who we're gonna put in the main event. WWE could go either way, and some of them are just way too early to tell. To be fair, when I did this, it was before the draft, so like some of the people were out of whack. So I guess it's like different now because we know some of them will be into the WWE. Um, Maybe what I'll do is can I put overall below? Um, Maybe put main roster, but doesn't go anywhere. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing, and maybe I'm gonna be wrong about that. So I don't know. So this could be a kind of potential. Maybe I could look back at this some point. But yeah, we'll go from there. So first up is I think God Adriana Rizzo. I think she's kind of just a background character for now, so it could go either way. But I'm gonna put her in or too early to tell because I don't think we've really seen that many matches with her. At least not me personally. I don't think necessarily the gimmick of being in the background. I think she will, if the family moves up, she will move up automatically. But I think her personally, she's gonna have to find something to do it. So I'm gonna say too early to tell because we don't really know. Next up is Grace, or is it Adriana Grace? Santino Marella's daughter, Miss NXT. The beauty queen thing could work out. I think in NXT it definitely works. I don't really see it being in the main roster thing. I think personally, I don't think she. It could go either way with it. I don't think she will be. Um, I think she'll make it to the main roster, but I don't think it's going to be like she's going to be a champion or anything. She might just kind of suffer around the not suffer, be around the main roster, but I don't think like she's going to be, doing anything too crazy. Maybe part of a tag team or something. But it's also really kind of early to tell on her, so she could be different. But I can see the potential of her, being that she has like kind of a lineage of wrestlers and stuff that she could possibly get a little bit higher. But at the moment, I think possibly main roster, but she's not going to do anything. That's just my prediction. Could be wrong with that. I think we just don't have that big enough sample. Next, we got Ava, the Rock's daughter. Even if she doesn't wrestle, she's definitely going to be in the WWE. I think with she's she's the Rock's daughter. I mean, what else can you say about that? She is the Rock's daughter, so I think that makes it a lot easier to get up there. Next up is Blair Davenport. When I originally did this video, and I think in my drafting videos, I had her being drafted, or pretty damn close to being maybe next year. She ended up being in the WWE. I think she's gonna be somebody that floats around the WWE. I don't think she's gonna be a main event talent, but I think she'll be in there around the mid card. But again, she could be either way on that one because she definitely has that potential. It's just kind of depending on how they use her in the main roster, and we won't see that yet because she's just barely there. Next up is Cora Jade. I guess she would probably be one that might have just got called up too, but her being injured and stuff, um, just not what I think. Is going to really help her out right now because like she's losing some great years, but I think she will definitely make it up to the WWE, be a good talent. I could see her kind of having the same type of career trajectory of Liv Morgan. I don't know why my brain did not want to put that together. I could see her being around that or being slightly below it. So I'm gonna put WWE. I don't think she'll ever be quite that main event. She may or may not get a couple title opportunities, but I don't think she'll be consistently maybe like a higher mid card. I think it's definitely around her area. Out of most of all the women on this roster, I do not know who this is. I remember last time I did the video, I looked her up, watched a couple matches, but I do not remember her name. I do remember that she was in Too Early to Tell because I don't think she has that many chances to show what she's done. Next up is Talon Henley. I like her a lot. Me personally, I don't really know if they know what to do with her. I do think she makes it to the WWE, makes it to the main roster. I just don't know if she does anything with it because I think she has to be paired or put in the right spot to really be shown off. And I think if she never gets that opportunity, she'll put in the solid work, do a lot of things, but I don't think she'll get those opportunities that she should. Next up is Gigi Dolan. Surprised that she didn't get drafted, honestly. I guess it makes sense because they could have used her a little bit longer on NXT. Um, I think the stuff that she's done in the independent scene would definitely put her up higher. I think she's going to be in the WWE sometime. Um, don't think she'll be a main eventer. I think she's just not quite what they've like. It seems like they just have some reserves on her because she's taken a little bit longer in NXT. But I personally think that she's a main eventer. I just don't. My prediction for her is that she'll just have a solid WWE career, and that's there's nothing wrong with that. But and get some title opportunities here and there. I could see her definitely being a Miss Money in the Bank. I think it would work really well for her character, but not necessarily what I want to. I would think that they would put her into that main event scene. Next up, we have Jace. She's kind of a 50-50 one. I think like when she was in Toxic Attraction, I think she would have definitely got that main roster and been up there and been doing some stuff, but it kind of fell apart, and I think she kind of got left holding the bag with that. So that in particular, I think that she'll eventually be in that main roster, but I don't know if unless they really can find some people to put her with, I think she's gonna struggle on that area. Um, but it's definitely I think she's a main roster talent. I think it's just gonna take some time to figure out what's gonna go on with her character. I think this is what Parker. No, yes, Jaden Parker. I'm pretty sure that's Jaden Parker. Could be wrong. Sorry in advance. Um, I think she's too early to tell. I don't think I've seen enough of her to really be able to pick. Um, it could go either way on it too, but I think it depends. Next up, we got Jackson. I think she's decent on the mic and she's pretty good in the ring, but I the whole metaphor thing could be either a really bad thing or a really good thing for her. I'm gonna put her on the either way because I feel like she might not get an opportunity if she's kind of stuck in that group, and if whenever she gets a solo opportunity, I think her and Lash Legend they should be a tag team and get more tag team matches, and they should definitely try to get this tag division restarted in NXT that we just desperately need a women's tag division. The men's one is also struggling, especially with call ups of like the last year. So I feel like we could see some more teams being built would definitely help. I don't know if Wendy's even in here. Every time I get her in here, I have no clue. I'm gonna put her in pass because I don't even know her. Next up is Carmen. I absolutely love Carmen. I've seen a lot of her level up matches, seen her going into NXT. I have great like my ceiling for her is much higher. I just don't know necessarily where she's gonna fall. I don't know if I would call her a main eventer. I'm gonna predict that she's eventually gonna be a WWE superstar. Um, I feel like when she gets to that main roster, and if she can just show what she's got, she's going to be up there. I said something about like Liv Morgan being around Cora J. I think she might have more of a Liv Morgan set, but which also could possibly be like a Becky Lynch too. Like she has that skill that could put her up in there. Maybe I'm a little high on her because of like recency bias and seeing certain matches, and maybe she just has some good matches in the lower card, and it doesn't translate, but we'll see. Um, God, I'm spacing on her name. She was in the pay per view or premium live event where they had the jail cells. God, man, my brain. I should not have done this video without writing all the names down because I normally don't have as much issue. Definitely too early to tell. I think she just needs a little bit more time to really show what she's got. But she's shown a lot of stuff so far. So actually, I'll put her up in the either way because I think I could be definitely persuaded to say that she'll be a main roster person from what she's shown. Kiana James, we already know that she's gotten called up to the main roster. Um, I just don't know if she does anything. I don't really like her gimmick. I don't really think it really does anything for me. Um, like story wise, I think she's gonna need somebody to help her up there, and Yeah, she didn't. She got drafted to Raw, and I was thinking before, I was like, yeah, somebody with like Chelsea Green would be great, and then they got drafted to SmackDown. So yeah, I don't see it working out really well for her right now. So much time could tell, but you never know. Next up, you got Lash Legend. Um, Honestly, like the momentum she had when she picked up Otis, I just don't know why they didn't let her run with it. I'm gonna say she is gonna be in the main roster. She has that Bianca Belair strength. She has that. I think on the mic she's really good too, but I don't think she gets the opportunities and stuff. I mean, even with the little bit that she had with Trick Williams, I think they could have really just dove into that more. And I just, um, that's what makes me worried a little bit with her. And when I just talked myself out of putting her main roster, but but doesn't go anywhere because maybe they won't be able to do it. Uh no, go back to my original feeling. I think that's where it's gonna go. Next up, we have Lola Vice. I think Lola Vice has just a phenomenal set of skills out there, and fairly like new to everything too. So at the moment, I think it could go either way. I think if she stays healthy and stays with it, I think she'll be main roster at some point. But I still think it could go either way right now because we just don't know. Next up, we got Lyra. She just got called up to the main roster, so she's automatically up here. I think last time when I did the video, she was already up there too. I honestly believe she's going to be main event talent. And it's one of those weird things because I believe. Let me see. I gotta move these things. Can I get rid of this? Yeah, just put it back down on the ground. That's fine. We'll just have them at the back. Um, I feel like she's definitely going to be in a lot of main events. I think she has the personality. I think altogether the skill that she shows out there will get her some good matches. I don't know if she will ever win a championship, but I think she'll have enough opportunities that she will be up in there quite a bit. That's just my feeling. I think they've kind of shown that that could happen. I could see her as soon as like one or two premium live events getting a match with Becky Lynch, like a rematch with it. Um, I could see that. I could really see that as a possibility, even if it's like a triple threat or something. And that would give her an amazing push. So I feel like main event wouldn't be completely out of it. Next up is Nikita Lyons, somebody who's suffered, a pretty bad injury. Um, and coming back. So I think her momentum needs to be shifted. But I do believe that she will be in the main roster sooner than later. I think with her, it's just kind of seeing what they do with her. A lot of the problem with some of the NXT people is they either have really good story or really good ring work, and I think that you have to work on both of them. And that's what the whole developmental thing is. And once they put them together, then they're main roster ready. It's just how it goes. Next up is Roxana Perez. I think she, out of everybody that's currently on the NXT roster, has the highest ceiling that everybody can see. She's got the backing, and she's already had some main roster. I think honestly, out of everybody here, she's had the most main roster matches. She's been in Royal Rumble. She's been on just Raw, just ever so recently. So yeah, main event talent for sure. I think she will win a championship at some point. I think out of every woman here, I can say I feel most confident saying that she's going to win a championship. Next up is Soul. Uh, she's phenomenal in the ring. I I would say she's main roster, but I don't know if she goes anywhere because the problem with her character is that she's just good at wrestling, and I don't think they put much into her character work, and that could stall out. I mean, she could get up there and do some really amazing stuff, but that's all we see. I'm gonna say that for now. I definitely think she should be on the main roster at some point. Her last match at Spring Breaking was great. I think she did a great job there and done some really cool things. So I think that wow and pop factor should get her to the main roster eventually. It's just can she put it all together? Next up is Stevie Nicks. I honestly don't know much. I haven't seen her just kind of be more background stuff. I'm gonna say it's too early to tell. I don't think we've seen enough. Next up is Tatum Paxley. I think we're starting to develop. I don't really necessarily like her gimmick, but I think like she's starting to develop a lot more. I'd say it can go either way right now. A lot of people thought she was going to be drafted, honestly, and I didn't think that was quite going to happen, but you never know. Next up is Fia Hell. I think with her current fame with being in Chase U is great for her. I think a lot of her talent out there is that she's developing, and I think that's kind of works with the whole Chase U thing. So I think in general could go either way. I think it is kind of too early to tell, but I think she's already in that like factionary thing to kind of get her more opportunities than she would because she gets promos and stuff like that that some of these other women don't always get those extra promos. But like Chase U kind of gets some extra stuff, and she's in them a lot of the times. I completely forgot your name. I know you're kind of newer, so I'm gonna put too early to tell. Um, that's just unfortunately for me for forgetting. But those are what I think. Obviously, we got some announcers and stuff down there. What are your guys' predictions? Who do you feel out of this class of NXT, looking at it, is going to be the person with the most championships? I think it's going to be Roxana Perez. I think there's going to be a lot of these women, especially up at the top two layers, that will get title opportunities and be in that main event scene. I think the person first that will have a title opportunity will be Lyra. I really do think they might give her an opportunity against Becky. I think it would also cement that Becky has grown and that loss to her was just, something that she's learned from. I think it would be great for her. I think altogether, there's a couple characters or a couple wrestlers here that just need some more solid characters, and I think that would also help them a lot because they got the wrestling down, and that's what I think. And I'm really excited to see with this draft that just happened that a lot of these women are now up in the roster, so what they're gonna do, and then they're that power vacuum of what NXT is gonna be like after this, and I'm excited. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.